Perfect. Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being here. We're going to start up with the Zero Waste Living workshop. So zero waste living, I don't know if everyone here knows what zero waste is, but we're going to know about it in a couple. So first off, I want to introduce myself. My name is Natalya, and I'm currently a zero waste living and a veganism advocate. I'm into environmental activism, and I'm also a an animal lover. And I'm also the founder of Conciencia Verde, which is a page that's you can look at probably in Instagram or Facebook. And also a member of Green Speaking. So I want to start up first with a TED Talk about zero waste living. So please tell me if you can hear it.
This is all of the trash that I've produced in the past 3 years. When I say that, people think that I'm crazy or that I'm lying, or they'll ask me questions like, hey, so how do you wipe your butt? I live a zero waste lifestyle, and I have for the past 3 years. Now, zero waste, that's a pretty big idea, right? So let me define it for you. To me, living zero waste means that I don't make any trash. So no sending anything to landfill, no sending anything in a garbage can, and no spitting gum on the ground and walking away, right? No trash. This is a big concept. And this all started when I was an environmental studies student at NYU. My senior year, I was taking a course called the Environmental Studies Capstone course, which is essentially the culminating course that all environmental studies students need to take in order to go out into the world and make it a more sustainable place. Well, there was a girl in this class, and every class she would have this big plastic bag with a plastic clamshell full of food, a plastic fork and knife, a plastic water bottle, and a plastic bag of chips. And she would eat all of this, and then class after class would just throw it in the trash. Now, this was really frustrating because here we were, these environmental studies students trying to make the world a better place, and there she was throwing all of this stuff into the garbage. One day after class, feeling still particularly upset about watching her throw everything away, I went home to make dinner. And I opened my fridge and noticed something that I had never seen before. Every single thing in my fridge was in one way or another packaged in plastic. And I couldn't believe it. You know, I was getting so mad at this girl for making so much plastic trash. And it turns out that I was just as bad. I was that girl. And so I made a decision in that moment. I was going to stop using plastic. Well, quitting plastic. Not so easy of a thing, right? When you think about your everyday life, you wake up in the morning, you go into the bathroom, and you brush your teeth. What is your toothbrush made out of? Plastic. What is your toothpaste probably packaged in? Your face wash, your moisturizer, your contact solution. So many things that are in our everyday lives come.
Wait, you can listen to the TED Talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I was scared. Okay.
Packaged in plastic. And so I realized that if I was going to move away from plastic, the only way that I was going to be able to do that was to learn how to make my products myself. Well, I don't know about you, but I certainly didn't know how to make deodorant and didn't have the recipe just kind of hanging out in my back pocket. And so I realized that I had to do some research. And while I was doing research online, I came across a blog called The Zero Waste Home, started by a woman named Thea Johnson, who is a wife and mother of 2 kids out in Mill Valley, California. And the 4 of them live a completely zero waste life. When I learned about Bea and her family, my mind was completely blown. I thought that I was doing the best thing that I could for the planet by not using any plastic. But the idea that I didn't have to produce any trash was so empowering and so inspiring. And it made perfect sense, right? Because I was this environmental studies student, I cared about the environment, studied sustainability, talked about sustainability, protested for sustainability. But I realized that I wasn't actually implementing any of those values into my day-to-day life. And so I made the decision to go zero waste. So let me break it down for you and tell you about some of the things that I did in order to make this transition a little easier. The first thing that I did was I stopped buying packaged food. So instead of going into the store and buying things packaged in paper and glass and plastic, I started bringing my own jars and bags to the store to fill with bulk or package-free items. I also started buying my fruit and vegetables from the farmer's market, so package-free. The second thing that I started doing was I started making all of my own products. Before I started living this lifestyle, my boyfriend at the time used to brush his teeth using baking soda. And I thought he was probably the grossest person in the entire world, right? There's no way that you could possibly get your teeth cleaned using something like baking soda. It's gross. Well, fast forward, and it turns out that the first product that I made was toothpaste made with baking soda. So over time, I started making all of my own products. When I would run out of something, instead of going to the store and buying a new one, I would learn how to make it myself. So when I would run out of lotion, I learned how to make it myself. Run out of deodorant, learned how to make it myself. Over time, all of the things that I had previously purchased were now ones that I made myself. The third thing that I started doing was shopping secondhand. So instead of buying new clothing and putting new waste into the waste cycle, I would buy things that were totally recycled secondhand, so not making any new trash. The fourth thing that I did was I downsized. So I focused on having only the things that were truly necessary and that I really needed. Well, this was really, really hard because I'm the kind of person who's really sentimental, and I can tell you as to why a toothpick needs to be in my life. But after I really got through that process and I completely downsized, I realized that I had so many fewer things in my life, my home was less cluttered, and everything was easier to clean. And when you have fewer things, you realize that you take better care of them, right? So when you take better care of your things, you don't have this mentality like, oh, if I don't want this anymore, I'll just throw it out and get a new thing later. No, I only had a few things, and so I took care of them and wasn't sending anything to landfill. All this must sound pretty difficult, right? I assure you, it's not that hard. I'm just an average, lazy person, and I wouldn't live this lifestyle if it was difficult. In fact, the benefits of living this lifestyle far outweigh any of the negatives that you could imagine. The first benefit is that I save money. So I save money when I buy my food and the products and when I make my own products because I'm not paying for the embedded cost of packaging, so things are cheaper. I'm also saving money by shopping completely secondhand because secondhand clothing is usually less expensive than new clothing. I'm also saving money because I've downsized. And so I don't go shopping all the time now and just buy things on impulse. I only have what I really need. The second benefit is that I eat better. When I go shopping now, I don't have the option to buy processed food products package free. And so now my diet consists of things like fresh fruit and vegetables or bulk, grains and nuts that I buy with my jars and my bags. And so when you eat better, you feel better. I've noticed that over these past few years, my weight has stabilized, I have more energy, I need less sleep. And when you're eating better and you feel better and you save money, you're happier. But besides those things, I'm happier because for the first time in my life, I'm living in direct alignment with my values. And why is this important, right? Waste. Well, waste is a really big problem. In fact, the average American person produces approximately 4.4 pounds of trash per person per day. Over the course of a year, that's like taking 8.5 of your best friends and throwing them in the trash. Don't do that, it's not nice. So if you care about your friends and you don't want to throw them away, and you think that it's possible for you to possibly reduce how much trash you're producing, I have 3 simple steps for you. The first step is to actually look at your trash and understand what it is, because you can't solve a problem of having a lot of waste until you know what it is. So when I did this exercise, I realized that I had 3 main sources of trash. The first was food packaging, and so I learned how to shop in bulk or package free. The second was product packaging, and so I learned how to make all of my own products. And the third was organic food waste, and so I learned how to compost. And just by identifying those 3 sources of waste and eliminating them, I had reduced my trash by about 90%. The second thing that I like to suggest is picking at the low-hanging fruit. So doing little things, one-time changes in your everyday life that have a large-scale and long-term positive impact. This includes things like using a reusable bag instead of a plastic or paper bag, or using a stainless steel or glass water bottle instead of buying plastic water bottles. Over the course of, however long, you realize that these little changes actually add up and make a big difference. The third thing that I like to suggest is the DIY, or actually learning how to make your products yourself. Now, I absolutely love doing this because when you go to a store and you have to buy products, you kind of have to settle and accept them as they are, right? If you don't like the way they smell, too bad. If you don't like the way they feel, sorry. If you don't like what they're packaged in, you don't have a choice. But for me, since I make all my own products, if I don't like the way they smell, I change the scent. If I don't like the ingredients in them, I change it. If I don't like the packaging, it's my choice. And so by making my own products, I have complete control over what I'm putting in my body. Now, I started living this lifestyle while I was still in college. And when I graduated, I had a real job, a real person job in sustainability, which is exactly what you'd think I'd want to be doing, right? Well, at the same time, I was still running my blog, Trashes for Tossers, and I noticed that I was getting a recurring question. And it was something like this. Dear Lauren, I absolutely love the products that you're making, and I too want truly natural products. But because of life, family, friends, blah, 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 I just don't have time to make them myself. Do you have any products that I can go out and buy that are equivalent? Thanks for your help, lots of love, person XYZ. So I went to stores and I started looking at products. And while I found that there were beauty products that were reminiscent of the ones that I was making myself, I didn't notice the same trend for cleaning products. When I looked at the ingredients of cleaning products, even the natural cleaning products contained ingredients that were really harmful, things that were carcinogenic and endocrine disruptive. When I looked into it further, I learned that cleaning product manufacturers aren't even legally required to disclose the ingredients of their products on the product packaging. And so when we go and buy a product, we're at the complete mercy of the company, hoping that they have our best interest in mind. I feel that we as consumers have a right to products that are transparent and that aren't bad for us. And so I started thinking about my own products, the ones that I've been making for years, that are safe and effective and have ingredients that I use to do things like brush my teeth or make salad dressing. And I realized that I had an opportunity. And so I quit my job and started a company because I feel like we as human beings have a right to products that are safe for our homes and our bodies and the environment. I get comments all the time that I'm doing this for attention, but I live this lifestyle for myself. I would never tell anyone how to live or how much trash that they should produce. I just want to provide tools through my blog and my business for people who, like me, want to reduce how much trash they're producing. I live a zero waste lifestyle because to me, it's the best way I know how to live a life that aligns with everything that I believe in. And what's the point, right? I'm just one person. What difference can I make? The point is simple. I want to be remembered for the things that I did while I was on this planet and not for the trash that I left behind. Thank you.
Well, that was the TED Talk. So zero waste living basically is not sending any trash to landfills. So once we know this, we can start up with our own toothpaste. So for that, I'm gonna show you. Okay, so I know that you probably don't have the ingredients right now, but don't worry about it because at the end of the Zoom, I'm gonna share with you like a little manual with all the ingredients and different, it's exactly 8 different recipes so that you can make it on your own when you're at your home or when you have all the ingredients and you can create these products. So right now we're gonna make some toothpaste. And maybe if you want to, you can take notes of what I'm saying and all the ingredients so that you also can make it on your own later. Yeah. Okay, so for the toothpaste, we're gonna need 1.5 tablespoons of liquid coconut oil. So I already have it over here. 2 tablespoons of baking soda, which is right here, and 10 to 15 drops of essential oil. I personally like mint essential oil because normally the toothpaste give you like that flavor, and it's also a little bit more fresh, but you can, if you want to, you can use lavender essential oil or any other essential oil that you like. For example, if you, here's what Lauren was saying on her TED Talk. She says that if you don't like something of the products that you consume, for example, a toothpaste, you can also personalize it when you're DIYing and when you're living a zero waste lifestyle. So if you don't like the mint flavor on your toothpaste, you can use lavender or any other essential oil. Also, we're going to use 10 drops of vitamin E. At the moment, I don't have vitamin E, but it's completely optional. And also, we're going to need 1 container to store the toothpaste. Would you like me to repeat the ingredients? Anyone who didn't took the ingredients or wrote them down? No? Okay, perfect. So we have the container over here. I'm gonna record. You guys are able to see it. So now we only have to add all the ingredients. So it's 1 tablespoon.
Nat, please hold on for a moment.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Okay, please, can you repeat the ingredients?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil, and it has to be liquefied because if it's solid, it's not gonna work. And also you can replace it with a different vegetable oil if you want to. Also, it's really important that you know that all the recipes that I'm gonna be giving you are completely vegan, and that's why I only give you these alternatives. But if you want to use a different ingredient that it's not vegan, you can completely use it. There's no problem. So it is.
Nat, could you, I'm not sure everyone knows what vegan means. Could you please explain what vegan means to the crowd?
Sorry, yeah, I forgot about that. So vegan is a lifestyle where you refuse to contribute to any way of animal abuse or yeah, basically animal abuse, and it's against speciesism. I don't know if you know that, what that means, but basically it means that it's against this belief that animals are inferior or that humans are superior than animals. So it's against that. And it's not only, it doesn't involve only like changing your diet or eating things that are not made from animals, but it also means that you have to change the way you live or the things that you consume that are not, so that they are not like contributing to animal abuse. I don't know if it's more clear. If you have a doubt, I don't know if I explained it right. um, I hope it's
Yeah, I
understandable.
think you did it right. Did you guys understand what vegan means? Yeah, they understood. You can keep going.
Okay. So if you want to, I can put the ingredients in the chat. It's over there. Oh, I sent it to Diego. I'm sorry. There it is. 1 tablespoon and a half of liquid coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, 10 to 15 drops of essential oil, and 1 container. So I will continue, and I'm also going to repeat the ingredients while I'm doing it. So here in this container, which is the container that I'm going to store my toothpaste, I'm going to add, it already has 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and I'm going to add a half of it. Now we're going to go with the baking soda. Which is 2 tablespoons. And as you can see, the ingredients are really easy to find, or I don't know, does anyone have any problems with the ingredient list? Maybe we can find a substitute if you don't have it, or you think that you may not be able to get it. I don't know, from Jeremy and Michelle and everyone over there, do you think you can get the ingredients? And also the people that are in the Zoom right now? Okay, I'll take that as a yes, maybe. So now we have 2 tablespoons of baking soda, the coconut oil, and now I'm gonna add 10 drops of essential oil. There you go. And also, if you want to add 2 different essential oils like mint and lavender, it's completely okay. You can do it, but just make sure that you use only like 10 to 15 drops, or try to taste it until you get the flavor that you want to. And now the only thing you have to do is mix everything. And I'm gonna add a little bit more of coconut oil because I added too much baking soda. But yeah, the result has to be like a paste. I don't know if you can see it. This has to be the consistency. Maybe like this, just like a toothpaste, really. And once you get this, the only thing you have to do is I would recommend you to take the toothpaste with maybe a stick or a little spoon and then apply it on your toothbrush. Because if you do it directly with your toothbrush, you're going to take those bacteria into your toothpaste and it's not going to last a lot of time. So I would totally recommend you to use something to apply it to your toothbrush, not directly. And there you have it. We have our own toothpaste. So does anyone have a doubt or would like me to tell you like a replacement for the ingredients or anything really?
No, I think everything's fine.
Okay. Thank
Hey Nat, can you do a quick summary of like all the steps just to
Yeah,
review?
sure. Also, as I told you, I will put it in the chat, but I made like a resume. Well, yeah, I think you can see it, but it's also all the ingredients and all these steps are over there, and also it has 8 different recipes. It has an antibacterial gel recipe for making your own, multi-use cleaner, toothpaste, makeup remover, shampoo, conditioner, lip moisturizer, and bronzer, and also the recipe for 6 cleaning products with 5 ingredients. So maybe Michelle and Jeremy can share it with everyone over there. And the people that are virtually, you can see it in the chat. But yeah, I'm just gonna give a little recap of the toothpaste. So you put all the ingredients, the tablespoon of and a half of coconut oil, the baking soda and essential oil in a container where you can store it, and you mix all the ingredients. And once you have a paste, if you have a paste that it's too like solid or it's not really like moisturized in some way, you can add a little bit more of coconut oil. And once you get the paste, you can apply it to your toothbrush with a little stick or with a spoon if you want to. Is that better? Yeah.
Yes, Nat, thank you so much.
Okay, sure. So now that we have made the toothpaste, I would like you to, what do you guys say? Would you like me to do the makeup remover, a bronzer, or a face mask?
You could do a makeup remover, please.
Okay. How about everyone else? Would you like me to do the makeup remover?
Jeremy just said that they are going to download. Oh no, they have already downloaded your
Oh,
summary and they will share it with all the participants.
okay, perfect. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, so we're gonna go with the makeup remover. Also, the recipe is in the little book, well, not book, but like the PDF that I sent, so no worries about it. So we're gonna go with a makeup remover. For this, you can also use any vegetable oil that you want to, but right now I'm gonna use sweet almond oil. And we are gonna need, oh wait. Does everyone have a doubt about the ingredients or about anything else?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay. So we are gonna use 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. And as I told you, I'm gonna use almond oil, but it also can be coconut oil, olive oil, any type of oil that you prefer, you can use it. It's 1 teaspoon. Oh. Almost there. There you go, 1 teaspoon. And 3 tablespoons of rose water. This is the rose water. I got it in, I think, in the drugstore, but you can also make your own if you want to. You just have to boil some roses, and I think that's it. I'm not pretty sure of that, but I think that's the way you can use. So 3 tablespoons and 3. And then you just have to mix everything. And there you go. So I'm gonna do a demonstration so that you guys can trust that we're doing something that actually works. So I got this lip gloss and I'm gonna put it in my arm. Okay. And then we're gonna use some eyeshadow and we'll see if our makeup remover really removes the makeup. This is the eyeshadow. Oh, not really strong. There you go. So this is the makeup remover. And I'm gonna use a cloth pad to remove it. Just grab a little bit. And let's see if it works. It worked. So yeah, that's the makeup remover. I don't know, Diego, do you know how we are on time? Do you know if we have, how much time do we have left?
That was awesome. I think we have 7 minutes. We're planning on ending at 10, at the 5:10, 9:10 for Mexico.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we have time for one more recipe, and that's the face mask. Oh, yeah, we have time for 2 recipes, actually. These recipes are super simple and really easy to do. For the bronzer, the bronzer is like makeup, and I think that they use it to contour their face. I really don't know a lot about makeup, as you can tell, but I know that the bronzer is like really well known in the makeup community, I guess. So for the bronzer, we are only gonna need 1 ingredient, and guess what? It's really easy to find also, and it's the cocoa powder. And if you want to, you can also use some cinnamon. There's no problem, but I think I'd rather use cocoa powder because it smells better and also tastes better. So you can choose between cocoa powder and cinnamon. And it's really simple. You just use this and put it in your brush. Maybe shake it a little bit and you can apply it, and that's it. I mean, you don't apply it in your hand or your arm. You apply it over here. You can do the whole makeup on your face, and yeah, it's really, really simple. So that's the bronzer. And the next recipe is for a face mask. And the face mask, for the face mask, we are also going to use only 1 ingredient, and that's aloe vera gel. I don't know if everyone knows. Um, I've always known this plant, but I don't know if it's really common in your countries or in the places that you live. But it's this plant. It's the Savila or aloe vera plant. And the only thing you have to do is to extract the gel. And how do you do that? You only need a knife, and with a knife you cut like this part and the sides of it, because sometimes they come with um like yeah, like dirt and things that you don't want to put in your face. So once you get that, as you guys can see, I don't know if you're able to see it, but that part, it's like the part that we need, the part that it's inside, and that's the aloe vera. So once you have cut it, like the edges and everything that we don't want in our faces, you just have to put the knife over here and also over here and extract this little gel. And then with that gel, you just have to blend it. I already have done these steps. So as you guys can see, this is the aloe vera. It's like a little gel. I know maybe it's not really pleasing, or it's not, yeah, it's not really pleasing right now, but it's really, really helpful, and it helps you moisturize a lot. So it's really useful. And once you have blended it, you just have to use a stainer, put it in a container, and that's it. That's your face mask. You can also freeze it or put it in your fridge, and it's way much more refreshing. And yeah, that's the face mask. I think I didn't add this recipe in the PDF, but I did put it how to extract the gel, and I also put it a tutorial in the PDF so you guys can see it. And the only thing that would change is you extract the gel and put it in your face, and you can freeze it. Oh, thank you, Gitanshi Dang. I don't know if I pronounced correctly your name. Please correct me if I didn't. And sure, I hope you guys enjoyed the recipes. And I would only like to add one thing or two in those 2 left minutes that we have. I think, I hope you guys can see it now. So just a little recap about, well, not recap, a quick reminder. Oh, sorry, Jeremy, were you gonna say something? I think he didn't. So just a friendly reminder, we don't need a few people doing zero waste perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly. And also these are like the fundamentals of the zero waste, which is refuse what you don't need, reduce what you need, reuse by buying secondhand or reusing things, then recycle what you can't refuse, reduce, or reuse, and finally rot, which is doing compost. So if you guys want to know more about zero waste, or if you want to know more recipes, you guys can go and get it, and you can go and watch more recipes on our Facebook or Instagram page, which is Conciencia Verde. And in my Instagram, you are not going to see a lot of things, but you can DM me if you have any doubts. If you make some of these creations or products, also you can tag me, or you can upload it if you want to, and of course tag me so that I can see it. That would make me really happy. And yeah, if you have any doubts, if you are having troubles finding a replacement, or if there's any ingredient that you can find or that you are not able to find, you guys can DM me and we can find a solution really easily. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any doubts or comments, you can let me know if you want to right now.
Okay, thank you very much. I may have a little question on the same. Yeah. And okay. In the first place, I really appreciate the good work you've shown us. So, in my question, I just wanted to inquire in the event that the ingredients you used, yeah, yes, aren't available locally. How do you go about this? Because sometimes you might find that, for example, for instance, in a process whereby you're making, it was toothpaste or something. So maybe we had the specified oils, yeah, like the coconut oil. So at some point you might find that they are not available locally, yeah. So in that case, what do you do? Or you have an alternative or a substitute ingredient that can be used on the same?
Yeah, no, of course. Sometimes when I don't have the oil, if I don't have any oil, any vegetable oil or even animal oil, I try to use butter. Any butter, if you have it, you can replace it with that. And if you can't get the butter, maybe you can use, well, depending on the recipe and the product that you want to make, you can see if you can avoid using the oil and maybe just don't use it and use the other ingredients. But it really depends on the recipe. But I usually use butter or any other different oil, the oil that you have available or the butter that you have available. Yeah. I hope that answers your question.
Well, thank you for that. And also my second concern is that what happens if you skip or if you just don't use the oil at all? Because maybe, okay, well, it might not be available, yeah? So you just end up not using it. Will the end product still be the same?
Well, the ending product is going to be affected for sure. It's probably not going to be as nice as the original recipe, but, and also for example, the properties that an oil would give you are not going to be there, but maybe you can get a final product that it's decent. Yeah, maybe. It also depends on the recipe, but for example, for the toothpaste, it really doesn't happen a lot if you skip the liquid coconut oil, because you can make toothpaste by only using baking soda. So in that recipe, it doesn't happen a lot. But yeah, it depends. If you have a doubt about another recipe, or maybe you have that same doubt about the olive oil or the oil in other recipes, you can DM me on my Instagram and maybe I can find you a different ingredient.
Okay, Mary, thank you for the response. And also my last concern of the question. Maybe I just didn't get it well, but what was that specific gel that you are using in the second project?
Oh yeah, the aloe vera gel. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, oh, sorry. You said that you. What did you say about it? I didn't pay attention.
Well, okay. My major concern was maybe you had a specific gel or a specific standard of modification, yeah, at which it should be made or just modified to ensure that the end product is of a standard or is a success at the end of it. Yeah. So maybe I was just worried because of the gel. Okay, I never heard of the specificity of the gel. So maybe if you just said that it was for aloe vera, then that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that sometimes in the stores they sell aloe vera gel, like it's already made and it already has like different products that makes it last a little bit longer. But you can also make it yourself. And I don't know if I'll look if there's a replacement, because I only know that you can use like the aloe vera gel and the one that it's already made, but I will look for replacements too.
Oh, well, I'm contented. Thank you for that. And just last remarks, just continue doing it yourself. It's futuristic. Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so we are basically out of time, but does anyone have any questions, any last remarks, any comments? Anyone? You want to say something? Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. Okay, I'm Malika, and I just want to say that I'm very happy. At least today I've learned a way of taking out my or removing my makeup. I do find a hard time removing them, by the way. So at times I even find myself going to bed without taking off my makeup. Thanks again.
Oh no, thank you. Thank you so much. That makes me so happy. So thank you, everyone. Should I? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the meeting. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Bye.